is busy celebrating the new year 2024. Nepal does not lag behind when it comes to celebrating national and international festivals. But this year's New Year, the New Year in Nepal, has come with a tinge of sadness. This sadness is writ large over the Nepali psyche. Just on the eve of the new year 2024, a protest erupts in a protest erupted in Palkumari of Lalitpur district. The protesters, what were their demands? They were demanding that they be allowed to take exams, what you call EPS examinations. If the examinees manage to make it through, if they make it through those exams, they can just go abroad to make a living. In Nepal, there is this general sinking and growing feeling among the youths in particular that this country is becoming a wasteland of sorts. Why? Because of chronic corruption, political instability, nepotism, and factors like that. So these youths, thousands of Nepali youths, are leaving the country in search of better job and educational opportunities. And those taking part in that protest in Palkumari were also demanding that they be allowed to take part in EPS exams that would enable them to go abroad, in particular in the shipbuilding industry in South Korea. That way, they could earn themselves a better future, not only for themselves, but also for their dependents, their families. And in a way, these youths, those who go abroad in search of better jobs, they just contribute to the national economy. They send in remittances. The political leadership that has been like corrupt to the core for quite some time, as well as bureaucracy, which does not have, which has not earned a good reputation either. These two organs of the state uh, can feast on that remittance that these youths working abroad, youths toiling abroad, send home. That way, they contribute to the national economy. These youths, given that there are no opportunities at home, they were demanding that they be allowed to take that EPS exam and go abroad to make a living. But instead of bothering to create conducive and peaceful environment for these lakhs of Nepali youths, what the government has been doing is that feasting on remittances, indulging in corruption, political instability, and nepotism. These have become a breeding ground for political leadership and their kith and kin. So, the government, what did it do in response to the Balkumari incident? Let's talk about that a little bit. There was this protest, as I told you earlier. A number of youths had been staging that demonstration for hours on end. They were not carrying any weapon. But what happened was that what seems to have happened is that there was this indiscriminate use of force against the youths. There was also what triggered that indiscriminate use of force. The audience may ask, uh, a government minister, Minister for Transport, Prakash Zwala, was passing by that troubled spot. What for, you might ask? In the middle of that protest, that heightened protest, why did Minister Jwala choose to take that route? He was to take part in his party, CPN-US, Communist Party of Nepal, United Socialist. This party is under the leadership of Madhav Kumar Nepal. He chose that route, that troubled spot. He chose to pass through that troubled spot to take part in his party's internal program. Reports suggest that the security detail advised the Minister Jwala, the transport minister, to avoid that route given tensions running high, because tensions were running high on that particular spot. But these reports suggest that Minister Jwala chose to ignore the wise words coming from his security detail, and just he chose to travel through that troubled spot. While his carcade was passing through that spot, tensions mounted. He was made to just leave that vehicle in the midst of the journey. He was taken out, and the enraged youths set that vehicle afire. They set that vehicle, the official vehicle purchased with the taxpayers' money, by the way. They torched that vehicle. The minister had a close shave, but the vehicle was gone. The taxpayers' money was gone. That was not the only damage. That was not the only loss that happened in course of that protest. Two youths, one from Dailek and another from uh, Acham, two remote districts of Nepal, lost their lives. They were in their prime. They were among the youths that were seeking to go abroad in search of a better future. What a tremendous loss for a country that seeks to just cash in on this population dividend. Nepal is a youthful country. There is a growing youth population in this country, which is rare in many parts of the world. It can be, this youth potential can be tapped to bring in progress and prosperity to this impoverished country, wrecked by decades of political instability, corruption, nepotism, and whatnot. Apparently, youths, Birendra Saha of Acham district and Sujan Raut of Tailik district, they lost their lives in police action. Media reports also point out this brute force of the state unleashed on these youths. In the wake of that incident, Minister Jwala has sought to distance himself to wash his hands of that incident. A couple of questions arise. Was Minister Jwala not aware that the political leadership of this country was getting increasingly unpopular? Now, there have been instances of attacks against the political leadership, and there was this mounting protest going on. Why did he choose? Why did he choose to take that risk? Why did not he choose to take another route or shelve his program altogether? Because the situation was turning hostile by the minute. Despite wise words from his security detail, why did he choose? Why did he choose to just travel through that troubled route? These questions have arisen. He has washed his hands off that incident, but these questions remain. These questions coming from the public remain, and he should answer that question. And there also comes this token action in the wake of uh, that incident. The government has suspended a couple of uh, police officers. They include Lalitpur Deputy Superintendent of Police Umesh Lamsal and Assistant Sub Inspector Bodhraj Danwa, Bodhraj Danwar, the personal security officer assigned to Minister Jwala. Minister Jwala, by the way, is the Minister for Physical Infrastructure and Transport. And the government has also decided to suspend EPS Lalitpur Director Gurudatta Subedi and has also decided to recall the Chief District Officer of Lalitpur District to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Also, the government has decided to it has formed a commission to investigate this incident, this unfortunate incident. But if the past is any indication, investigation commissions like these are meant to brush the issues, to brush the problem, if you will, under the carpet, whether it's the uh, probe commissions into air crashes, whether it's inquiry commissions into gold smuggling cases. All these commissions have shown that they are just a ruse to deflect the anger, to divert the attention of the public from the core problems facing this country. They never solve a problem. By the time they just tender report, by the time they submit their reports to the government, the public already finds the the public is already grappling, the state is already grappling with another series of scams and scandals and corruption cases and whatnot. So these commissions, they do not serve any purpose. They are meant to provide some kind of jobs to retired securocrats to retired government officials, etc. Other than that, they don't serve any purpose. And there is every reason to believe that this inquiry commission will be no different. Minister Jwala, by the way, is a veteran politician. He has been in politics for decades on end. He was formerly with the CPN-UML, the Communist Party of Nepal, Unified Marxist-Leninist, under the leadership of KP Sharma Oli. They have struggled for decades to topple autocratic regimes, to topple the panchayat regime in particular. But in course of time, these leaders, they have just tarnished their images. They have their names associated in different scandals. They have become increasingly corrupt and increasingly unpopular among the youths in particular. There have been several instances of like bid to attack them, that kind of like popular sentiments against these uh, uh, tried and tested and failed leaders. Sentiments are rising. They have been rising for quite some time against the tried and tested and repeatedly failed political leadership. Also, what happens in the wake of incidents like these is that the ministers concerned rather, put in papers, it could have been great if Minister Jwala had quit to make way for investigations because he faces charges of ignoring the advice coming from his security detail. And that led to the killing of two Nepali youths in their prime. Also, this this incident is somewhat is basically associated with the home administration. This internal security, handling internal disturbances, is the forte of the home ministry. So was there some like security lapses? Were there not like there were clearly some security lapses that led to the killing of two youths? What were they? Was there this indiscriminate use of force against a peaceful protest? Was there this indiscriminate use of force to quell a largely peaceful protest? Because media reports seem to indicate that there was. To facilitate a free, fair, and impartial investigation into this incident, should the Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha, should he not have resigned? Should he still not resign? I think he should because there is a precedent. There are several, at least one precedent in Nepal that dates back to the Panchayat era, by the way, not the Republican era of this day and age, but back to the Panchayat era, there was this incident. A match was in progress at the Dasrath Stadium in Kathmandu. All of a sudden, a football match was in progress there. A football match. During that match, stormy weather developed. There was this heavy rainfall and all that stormy weather conditions. that, like, there were just small exit gates, small exits, and when the people tried to rush out of that stadium to save their lives, there was a stampede and people died. A number of people died in that incident. It was in the 1980s, and Kesar Bahadur Bista was a minister for education and sports. In the wake of immediately after that incident, he resigned on moral grounds. That was one rare example. Should Home Minister Srestha, should he not take a leave from that incident and put in papers? I think he should, because the people take him as uh, a clean politician, a rare politician in this Republican era who has this squeaky clean image, so to say. This incident gives him an opportunity to cleanse himself. He should rise up to the occasion and put in papers. That is my humble suggestion. Because, like, a bunch of corrupt to the core politicians have given this system a bad name. If they want this system, this Republican system to continue, if they want this system to regain popularity, then uh, the uncorrupted lot, they should just stick to those high ideals. They should stand against corruption, political instability, nepotism, and whatnot. They should just rise up to this occasion. Otherwise, the chaos will just intensify in the coming days. The unrest will continue, or rather, just grow worse. And the youth exodus will further accelerate. They have a chance to just distance themselves from a crop of tried, tasted, and failed political leadership and give hope to the Nepali peoples. Through this channel, I request the youths to just do every bit to make the political leadership and the bureaucracy accountable to the people. Leaving the country at this crucial juncture in the life of this great country is not the option. They should stay home, they should work, but they should do every bit to make Nepal's political leadership that has been corrupt to the core, as well as bureaucracy, accountable to the people. They should stay on. They are aware, they are wise, they are intelligent, they know the ways of the world. So they should just stay on in this country, do their jobs, but at the same time, do every bit to make the political leadership and the bureaucracy accountable to this country, to the present generation and generations to come, because what they call eternal vigilance. Eternal vigil is a small price to pay in a democracy. Democracy demands that you save the country from the political leadership, because it can just enter into dubious deals. The political leadership can enter into dubious deals and sell the country and generations of countrymen down the river. So the time has come for Nepal's youths to stay on in this country, contribute to this country, to this uh, shaky country, to this instability plagued country, to solve this country, to solve their motherland, to save their fatherland, to save their ancestral land from a corrupt political leadership and bureaucracy. The onus is on these youths to just ensure this country and generations to come a better, a more secure future. Leaving the country in thousands is not the option. The only way is to make the political leadership and bureaucracy accountable to this country, to the people, to generations of Nepalese to come. I repeat this word. I request you to subscribe to this channel, comment on our presentation, and press that like button if it really touches your hearts and minds. Remember, we are trying to promote citizen journalism. We are trying every bit with scant resources to be your true voice. We are bent on bringing the country, the problems facing this country, this great country with great promises. We are bent on bringing to the fore the problems facing this country with this by sticking to journalism with a spine. So we request you to subscribe to this channel, comment on our presentation, and press that like button if it touches your hearts and minds and souls. By the way, do every bit to make the political leadership and bureaucracy of this country accountable to the country, to the people, to the generations to come. Only then will we be able to ring in progress and prosperity in this great country. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.